Hey guys, welcome back to Aries EDC and another edition of Thoughts and Feelings and Updates, TNFNU. If this is your first one, welcome. Make sure that you're subscribed because there's a lot of stuff on this channel that you can take advantage of. And the Thoughts and Feelings and Updates is just an opportunity for me to share the ongoings with the week and for me to kind of vent some things that are happening or to update you on some of the projects that are going on. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is something that kind of came up recently in a conversation that I was having with somebody. And it was kind of like EDC size blades. What do you consider as an EDC size blade? And it's funny because I personally have my thoughts on what an EDC size blade is, obviously. And maybe you guys have your ideal size for the blade. And no, I'm not just talking about fixed blades, but I'm also talking about folders of what would be considered everyday carry. And it got me thinking because there has to be a distinct possibility that there could be something different between what an EDC or a survival knife or a camp knife versus just an EDC everyday carry in my everyday world. Personally, and these are my personal thoughts, in my day-to-day operating, gliding through the world as I do, I don't need anything really bigger than 3 inches. And that's not only a production folder, like let's say my new hyphen from Wii that I picked up that is glorious, that is around a 3-inch blade. I don't need anything bigger than that. And that is just in my everyday world. But maybe your everyday world might be different. I don't find myself breaking down a lot of cardboard. I don't find myself really pulling out the knife to cut hamburgers. Shout out to everybody doing that. But, you know, for me, anything over 3 inches, really 3.25, gets really big. That doesn't mean I don't have knives that are bigger than that. It's just not something that I really consider as EDC. I will throw it in my pocket and it will just end up there. Like I have shared before, I have the Orion Cetus, and this thing is a monster in my opinion and is really not something that is way more blade than I will ever need on a daily basis. I guess if I'm really going into something where I know, wow, you know, I'm gonna have a bunch of cardboard I'm gonna break down, or I'm really gonna have to cut some rope and I'm really gonna need some heavy use something, I might bring this because that would be perfect for that. But quite honestly, a regular blade that I might need on a daily basis is my little baby banter. This thing has been thrown in my pocket all the time. And really, I don't need anything bigger than that. So what do you guys think is the ideal EDC blade? Some of you guys think that, you know, a 4-inch blade is really EDC. Some people are EDCing like Bluminati Ninja. He bought my Crow and he EDCs that every day. And that thing was like 4¼ inches long. But that's him. I don't feel like I feel like a lot of the average people don't need a blade any bigger than the 3 inches. That's why when I wanted to get the Spyderco Para 3, it was almost too big. It was almost too big. The Para 2, definitely much bigger than what I would ever need. But I wanted to get a Para 3, so I got the Para 3. And it's an awesome knife. I'm glad I have it. It ends up in my pocket. I have the wee Sakshi, I think that's how you say it. And that's just a little bit over what I really need on a daily basis, but it's a nice slim knife and it disappears in my pocket and it's a good thing. But then I have something like this. The Damn Designs, this is the Jin XL. And although it's not a long knife, because if I was to take the Orion Cetus and put it up next to that, you could see the Orion Cetus is much larger than the Damn Designs Jin. But that is a much substantial blade in profile than the Orion Cetus. So you have a give and a take. But I personally also don't like a lot of things in my pocket. Like everybody shares the pouches that they have, the knives and a flashlight and a first aid kit and all the things that people will carry on EDC. I don't like something big and bulky in my pocket. So just a little pocket knife and then fixed blade on my front horizontal carry. I did a post on my community page. It's still up. And a majority of people liked the pocket sheaths, which is great. And that's kind of a new thing, the leather pocket sheath for your little fixed blade. But I don't like that in my pocket. I like it on my belt. So I make and I carry small EDC fixed blades. So this is my Bloom. My Bloom is something that I beat the heck out of. It's black linen micarta and burgundy micarta, and I use the G10 spacers for it. Really thick blade stock. So that was just a project knife that I made for myself, and that's 440C, and I use that every day at work. But I also made myself my little rock hopper, and the rock hopper again is under 3 inches and a nice compact design. I carry it right on my hip or right in front, and you know, I can get in and out of vehicles all day and it's not gonna pinch or bind or anything. So for me, that's where I like to carry, but I understand the pocket sheath thing, and that's a thing that's going on right now that everybody enjoys. But it's come up before where it's like, what is EDC versus like a survival blade? One, something you're gonna have for survival or something you're gonna bring camping. Could something like this be brought camping and that be your camp knife? Yeah, but you're probably gonna want something a little bit bigger. And people are always like, Aries, when are you gonna start making bigger blades? And my reaction to that is, that's not really my interest. I have the pistol and I have the stigma, which are a little bit bigger, and I'll pull one out for, or at least the wooden blank. So that's the stigma. Which is a great camp size knife, in my opinion. Maybe it's still a little small for you guys, but, and I've made a couple of these, one for a gentleman who intends to use it for camping, one who uses it for hunting. That's his prerogative. He gets to do whatever he wants. But these aren't something on my everyday list of things that I make because it's really not my interest. My interest is everyday carry, EDC. And I feel like EDC kind of has this own little thing, and it's different than tactical or survival or camp or anything like that. I don't know. That's my opinion, but I really feel like there should be a separation between what is EDC and what is the other. I think the difference is you can EDC tactical and EDC camp, and you can EDC and use EDC for tactical, but again, that's the beauty. And the beauty is also, you get to decide. You get to decide whatever you think. I have my opinion. You guys have your opinion. But for me, really, a 3-inch blade is where it is. The only other blade I have sitting here on the table that I haven't pulled out is my Best Tech Texel. And at the time when I purchased that, that was like one of the biggest blades that I have. I think it's at like 3.25 inches. Yeah, 3.25 inches overall. And it's a great blade, but at the time I was like, that's a little big. And then of course I got talked into this, and that blows everything else away. But I love this thing. It's not that I don't like it, and it does end up in my pocket, but I also like that. And I also carry all the time that. It's an awesome little blade, awesome little package. If I need to open a package, it's there for me. If I need to cut anything, it's there for me. But that is going to be my favorite because that was a Grail purchase for me. So yeah, that's special. Along with the blade that I made for myself, which is my Damascus rock hopper, which that holds a special space in my heart too. So that will get carried a lot. And this has ended up in my pocket. It scares me, but you know what? It's a tool, And I don't think I've ever used it to cut anything, but one day I'm sure I will. So, you know, I've been asked, but I'm making bigger blades, anything over 3 inches, it's really not my wheelhouse and really not something I'm interested in, even when I go to shows. There's a show coming up very soon. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that. I'll go to someone's table, and if they have all 5-6 inch choppers and that kind of stuff, I'm impressed by their work. But it's not anything I would ever purchase and not anything I would ever want to recreate, because I feel like for the most, my interest is EDC, and that is the everyday size blades that I make. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. So the show that is coming up is the Gator Cutlery Club in Central Florida. So if you are in the Lakeland area or the Central Florida area, or maybe Jacksonville, St. Augustine, maybe if you want to make the trek from Miami, it's a small show. It'll take you a couple hours to get through the entire show and talk to all the vendors. Really great people that put on this show. There's classics, antique collectors, there's production, there's customs, there's materials, there's drawings, there's all kinds of really cool stuff that these people put on. So the Gator Cutlery Club, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you guys can check it out. I will be there on Saturday the 27th. The show runs from the 26th to the 28th. I will be there on the 27th. So I would love to bump into a couple people who might be in the Central Florida area. If you are, you know, reach out to me on Instagram and let me know, hey, I'm going to be there, because I'm going to be there for a couple hours with my wife, just walking around, talking to some of my buddies who I know are going to be presenting there or have booths and have tables, and catch up with some people who normally have booths and tables but are going to be just hanging out at the show. So that's going to be really fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So check out the link. There's not a lot on their website, just the dates and times and the hotel and stuff, but it's a really cool. If you're in the area, I would definitely take the afternoon or the morning and go check that thing out. So let's talk about updates. First update, I am at 878 subs on YouTube, which is awesome. I went up 15 subs from last week, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 mark because I have a really special thing for you guys for that. But that's coming up. I'm not going to give away too much of that, but if I reach 1,000, there's something fun going to happen. But I'm right there. It's like, ooh, it's so close. But if you watched the video, the unboxing video, the Yoke Doos are all back. I still haven't had an opportunity to really work with them. I think tomorrow, as I'm filming this, I'm going to start working cleaning all of these up. So these all have the forge scale on them, or the forge scale. It's kind of like a bronzing color on it. So I need to clean all that up, get that all off, get it nice and prepped for the logos. I need to do my maker's mark and the Yoke Doos maker's mark and the numbering, because these are going to be numbered 1 through 4. And then it's going to be off to acid etching and stone washing and doing that. What I think, there are 4 of them, and there are 2 of them that are belt satin finished. These 2 are the belt satin. And there's 2 of them that are the hand satin finish. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to just keep 2 of them in the satin and 2, ooh, I caught it. 2 of them, good thing they're not sharpened. Two of them are going to be acid etched and stone washed. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a plan? I think that's fair. 2 of them will be acid etched and stone washed. So 1 of the belt satin vertical finish and 1 of the hand satin. Or maybe I should just acid etch all of them. What do you guys think? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I should just make it even and just do it to all of them so they're all the same. But I don't know. I'm playing with the ideas, but I got to clean them all up first, and that's going to take me quite some time with the 4 of them. It's not going to take too much time, but I need to get them all done. Also on the chopping block is the Damascus creep, which I was able to get that hole drilled out, and the Damascus pedal, which I have special plans for if you're catching my drift. So I got the pedal and I got the creep, and these got to get heat treated. So I'm hoping tomorrow morning I can heat treat these and start tempering them before my live stream. And then I also have the fun package hatchet, which you guys seem to like this thing. I wish it was something I could do more often, but it's kind of like if I have the extra steel laying around, I might make something out of it. But the package hatchet is getting there. I need to I'm going to heat treat the blade on it. Seems a little silly, but it's going to be a cutting tool and it needs to be heat treated. So I'm going to heat treat that as well, and then those will get cleaned up. But the Yoke Doos are first. The Yoke Doos, I'll do a whole thing on the Yoke Doos, but I got to get them started and I got to get them cleaned up. Then the only other two are the Tobico and the pass around pedal. And those just got shipped. So I'm hoping, wow, Monday, Tuesday of next week, I can get those in, and then I can get those finished, and then the Tobico can go to his new owner, or its new owner, his, her, whatever. And then the pedal, I can start passing around to maybe some other content creators, and you guys can start seeing the bloom, not a pedal, it's a bloom. It's this model, but it's gonna have the Kieranite scales on it. So it's a bloom. And that's kind of the model that I want to represent the channel. And so I'm going to finish that one up, get it passed out to hopefully some people who are going to highlight it on their channel, and then you guys can see it. And then we'll get that passed around. And then I can start on February's books. Let's talk about February's books. I've done videos, I've done some live streams on Instagram about the books of February. And I had 5 spots open, and I only have 1 spot left as I'm filming this. So if you're interested in getting a knife made by me, you have until the beginning of February to reach out. Because once I get to the beginning of February, I'm going to close off the books, and I will, if I have 1 slot open, I'm just going to make a knife of my choosing, which is kind of what I did the last time with the pass around pedal or the pass around bloom. I keep doing that, but I'm just going to come up with something that I want to make for you guys and put it on my Etsy store. A lot of people have been asking about the Etsy store and when things are going to drop on the Etsy store. And the Etsy is basically if I have a knife that isn't already spoken for, and everything's spoken for, which is awesome. I mean, it's awesome because then I'm always being able to give you guys what you want and give the customer the blade that they're looking for. So that's awesome. So if I have something that has come up and I want to sell it, then I could throw it on my Etsy store. But 5 blades a month is pretty good, especially, well, you know, I could probably start doing more than 5 blades a month, but I got to get these Yoke Doos done. Right now, once those 4 are done, and they are going to hit the Etsy store, but there's more to come out about that one. So anyway, so we talked about the EDC versus all the other things. What do you guys think? Is your ideal size bigger than mine, smaller than mine? I don't know. Let me know. I guess it all depends what kind of lifestyle you guys live. But I feel like most people, a 3-inch blade is probably good for just your everyday use. For your everyday use. You know, you're not looking to go out and cut something. For me, 3 inches, perfect. That's all I really need. I can cut open boxes, break down a box, do whatever I need to do. And then I have my small fixed blade that I can use for anything else as well. So that's what I have for you. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment or not. That choice is yours. Have a good one, guys.